Yo, what up? My name is Don, and today we're going to be getting into working on this guitar right here. This is my ESP LTD Aero 1000 Violet Andromeda. This guitar has been serving me for the past 3.5, 4 years. Absolutely beautiful guitar with its color shift, kind of light blue to purpley tones that it does there. Today we're going to be getting into focusing on the Floyd Rose, and more specifically the knife edges that I had damaged when I adjusted the height of my post while the entire guitar was under tension. So we're going to get into repairing that today. I'm going to take apart the entire thing, get my files out, and get into showing you guys how I'm going to go about fixing that. And hopefully this helps some of you out there. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Okay, so I'm here with the Aero 1000. This is my Violet Andromeda Aero 1000, as you can see here. And the problem with it, like I said in the intro, is that the knife edges on my Floyd Rose have developed a burr, largely from my own doing. This is because I had adjusted the posts while everything was under tension, which is something that you should never do. And I unfortunately did that when I was, not as knowledgeable about Floyd Roses in general. So yeah, that was a big no-no. And what better time to do it than right now? Because yesterday, let's just pull this one out here. Yesterday, sorry, it wasn't yesterday. It was earlier today. It was actually this morning. I broke a string. It seems like it was yesterday. Time passes so fast. But no, I broke a string, and so I went out and got a new set of strings, and got her here on my makeshift bench in my girlfriend's office. And we're going to get into it. So I'm just going to basically tear it down, take off the Floyd. I got my little set of mini files here, which I highly suggest if you're going to do this. Some people say this doesn't help, but honestly, my whole guitar kept going out of tune. And one of the problems was because, and don't do this, this is foreshadowing, I had tightened down the screws up here too tight, so the clamps were clamping down too hard on the strings, and on my D string it actually had flattened the string a little bit, which, oops, that was a long time ago. I haven't actually changed these strings for 4 years. I've had the same set of strings on it since I stringed it up so many years ago when I got it, and finally it's time for a fresh set of strings, so I can't wait to get this thing all set up again, playing like a beauty. And anyways, the other problem was that I had, like I said, adjusted the height of the posts when everything was under tension, and so obviously the knife edges, which are kind of shaped like a horseshoe, like a U, and the post would be like this, are just grinding against the post. The posts are stainless steel, and the base plate, or the Floyd Rose itself, is hardened steel. I was just on the website earlier, so I hope I got that right. But still, there is damage. I've already taken everything apart, and I can run your finger along the top side of the knife edge, and it's all smooth, but if you run your finger along the bottom, there's a burr. So basically what I'm going to be doing is taking that down with the files, giving it a once over while I'm in there, and then I went and got some super lube, and I'm going to be using that to just kind of dab the area. It is, I think the acronym is PTFE. I can't remember what it stands for, but anyways, it's supposed to like stay in the area, not kind of drip away or anything, and be very long lasting. It's one of the highest rated at lubrication and keeping the area that you apply it to lubricated. So many people have gone ahead with this fix have recommended that you do go ahead and use super lube. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Okay, so I know this is a video about fixing my I ain't losing anything. Okay, let's try that again. I know this is a video. Note to self, if you're going to handle this thing, you might want to put a piece of tape over the saddle blocks, especially if you loosened off the the retaining screws too much. I'm just going to put my finger over them. So I can definitely feel that burr. The side is not so bad. That side is a little bit worse. Now, if you're ever going to do this, you have to remember that the knife edges are rounded. I just want to show this to this camera. The knife edges are rounded, right? They are not, some people do this quote unquote repair and they sharpen the knife edges to an absolute point. That's not really what you're going for here. But you can see I've had this guitar for 4 years. There is some wear and tear. It's not too bad overall. It's not too bad overall. So what I'm saying is you can run your finger, this is the bottom side, and you can feel a little catch on both sides. It's worse on this side. And this is from, you can feel it with your fingernail. This is from, you can also run something over it if you're unsure. See if you catch. On the top side here, if I run my finger through the groove and down, it's fairly smooth. So what would that mean? That would mean when I'm doing any sort of pulling up on the Floyd, you know, for dive bombs or something, every time that it comes up, the bottom that's burred is going to scrape along the post. And we don't want that. We also want the Floyd returning back to a neutral point. So we're going to put that aside for a second. I just want to go ahead and admire this absolute beauty of a guitar that has been serving me over the past 4 years. Just a beaut. It does this color shift kind of thing in the light. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a wipe down now. You can go ahead and use the Ernie Ball cloth just because it's out. Before I do that, actually, really quickly, I'm just going to go ahead, and this might be ridiculous, but this is a camera blower. What I'm doing is I don't want any abrasives personally on the paint. I'm no paint expert, right? But I just don't really want anything to be abrasive against the body of the guitar that I'm going to be literally wiping down in 2 seconds. This is, by the way, a great forearm workout. Was it dumb? Whatever. Whatever. Okay. I'm also going to have to, I didn't measure the height of my post, so I'm actually going to have to go grab my measuring card and go ahead and do that. So that's awesome. I've never seen the guitar look so polished. I'm not really too worried about it looking perfect. I just want to get it back together, right? Worry about polishing it another day, another time. All right, it looks like here we've got just under 9. I want to say, we're going to say the right post is 8.5 to 9 millimeters. And the left post is 9. It's much more confidently sitting right at 9 millimeters. These guys might need to come out as well because I'm going to take just a little picker tool that I have here. What looks like this. It just has an edge, and I'm going to run that edge along the side of the post. And what I'm trying to do is catch an edge. And if I catch an edge, I know that there is in fact damage to the post that I have to resolve. Now, regardless, I think that I do want to take them out to inspect them a little closer. I would say, if anything, it looks and it feels like there's more damage to the knife edge than there is to the posts. I don't really think I have to move the posts all that much. And what I'm going to do actually is put this over the body because I don't trust myself. Sincerely, don't trust myself. Just so if I do anything extra stupid here, you know, obviously there's not going to be any damage on the backside, I don't think, but I'm not too sure. And this is where I just want to take the posts out. And let's go ahead and just do that. we are all the way here. The posts screw in quite deep. They screw in quite deep. They are, I want to show people this if they've never seen it. They are quite fine thread. They are quite fine thread. Just trying to catch it in the light so you might be able to see the threads on this thing. Not sure if it's focusing or not, but that, and the bottom just looks, it's just flat. Where are we? The bottom is just flat. All I really want to do in there is I'm going to be running a little brush in there. Actually, this will do. That'll do. I'm trying very carefully to make sure that what I'm feeling is not damage, and I think it's just the paint. I kind of had a feeling that the posts were going to be the better of the two. Always remember, do not force anything that screws in. I always like to, when I'm bringing a screw up to a hole, especially if it has a female insert, right? That's a blind insert, you can't see in there. I like to twist left into the hole just to make sure you feel it seat. And then you can go ahead and, okay, we're going to put it around there. We're going to go ahead and take this other one out. Now, there's a little section on here that I would really have to switch lenses for you guys to see. No, I just think there's some buildup here. Again, I don't think it's anything. I think it's honestly just the buildup of the paint that has been worn off in other areas. Just going to kind of lightly scrape that away. Yeah, it even feels like it's cleaning up with just my fingernail. Like, I don't really think this needs any TLC. I told you my hair wasn't going to stay put. It feels really smooth, so we're just going to go ahead and get that back in there. Yeah, we will get these set at the right height right before we put the super lube on, so I'm not really worried about it right now. But what I want to do is get into this Floyd Rose now, so we are going to do that. Okay, so I have a mini file here. It is a circular file, and I'm just going to do my best here to kind of just get rid of that little lip. So I'm just going to run. I can feel it catching, and I'm not using any force at all. This is the most important part, is that I'm not using any force at all, because all I'm trying to do is get rid of that little burr, and already that is feeling much better. I can feel another sharp. You really just want to pay attention to get rid of all those sharp little edges that may have been created from negligence. In my own case, again, adjusting the posts under tension. Not a good idea. Okay, that feels better. On that outer side at least. I'm trying to hold as well. One of the saddle posts just came out. Well, saddle blocks, I mean. If you're ever wondering which way these go, if you can see this, there is a small hole which is supposed to be mated up with the screw in the back, the retaining screw. So you can drop the block in the correct way. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up that retaining screw just until it's making contact with that block. There we go. No more falling out. So we've got the outer edge of this side done. That would be the left side looking from the top down, but underneath it is our right side that we're working on. Yeah, right side, aka left side from the top. So if you can't feel that edge with your finger, or you can't feel that edge with the file, what I just have this kind of picker tool, right, just to pick at things, and when you're just pushing over the edge, it should glide over smoothly, as it does in all these spots. You just want to test each spot, make sure glides over smoothly. And as soon as you catch an edge, you know, like right there, I'm catching an edge still at this spot right here. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. Yeah, I'm not sure if you guys can hear that, but it's almost like knocking. Knock, knock, knocking on Floyd Rose's door. All along this right edge too. It's smooth here, all right on the outside. I'm just going to back up here so we can see. I might even switch my lens. I think I'll do that so you guys can see this real good and up close. So what I wanted to show here is basically that if you run your tool along the edge of the Floyd Rose, you will catch an edge sometimes. It's smooth right here, but as I go along the edge here, especially in this area, there's right this spot right here. All I'm doing is pushing down so that the tool mates with the Floyd Rose, but this is a burr right here. Even though it's not a very big one, it's stopping the tool from going over this entire right side. And it's smooth in the middle. Right, smooth, smooth, smooth. It could be just a little smoother in the middle there. Then we get smooth again where there's no paint damage. And as we go over this left side, we're getting a little bit of a lip now, but I just kind of worked this area right here. So the lip that we're getting is not as bad at all on this left side here. We can do the same thing on the left side. Try to get the left side in focus. So again, if we are here, we can't get the tool to catch anywhere. Right? This edge is smooth. There's a little lip right there where I can see there's a bit of paint damage. Then we get smooth again. In the middle there's a bit of a burr here. Just a little bit of a lip it keeps catching here. This whole area keeps catching. Right, and the left side it just has a little bit of a lip, so it's not much. If we look at the top side, it's not nearly as bad. So very smooth. There's a little bit of a lip. We'll just run the tool this way. Yeah, there's a little lip right here, just a tiny one. Make sure there's nothing on the tool head. And yeah, confirm going back over that spot, there is a lip there in the middle. It's all smooth along the rest of the left side, but there is a lip in the middle. It's not much. And it's so hard to see, so this is why I stress that you really want to, and on this side now, same thing. I'm just going to keep the tool mated, the little picker tool mated, all smooth on this inner edge. And we get to the middle, and I can feel it. I can feel that burr. So that burr continues on the top side there where there's that paint damage. You can see the paint damage right there, right? That I'm kind of outlining right here in the middle. If you guys were here in the room, you could hear it. Every time I hit it, it's like crunch, 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 crunch. So all I do, right, is we're going to take the file and run it along that same edge. It was a mistake of me to pull the file backwards. I want to run it in the same direction. And only do a couple passes, 5, 10, 15 passes, whatever you think it takes. And now this edge is so much smoother. So much smoother. No resistance at all. A little bit on the right side, so I'm just going to run it a little bit here. Again, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I'm trying my best to outline it right here. Can we get a nice focus right here? On the right side, the right inner side, we're getting a little lip. If I lift it up like that too, you can kind of see this is just where the light hits it, but there is a bit of, you can see that there is a bit of paint damage there on the the deepest part of the U on the left side, the left knife edge here. But I'll tell you that it feels so much smoother when I run the tool over it now. That feels so much smoother than it did before. All you really need to do is do that, right? And get rid of those burrs. They're very tiny, they're very minuscule, but they still do impact the playability of your Floyd Rose. And I, for one, am tired of it. Are we still in focus here? There we go. Let's get a nice, let's run over that edge. That's much better. You see how the tool is curved here? I really want to seat it, right? I'm seating it down like this, and I'm resting it on the Floyd and really, really making sure I press down like this toward, like, into my skin. I'm doing that with the Floyd Rose on the edge here to make sure I really, you know, making sure that I'm not catching any edges. And that's basically the process to diagnose this issue. Big burr in the middle right there. Continuous up to the left side. Just looks like displaced paint. And then pretty serious burr along the right edge as well. Okay, before I do any more passes, I'm going to run the tool over it. Better. Yeah, better. There we go. Now you can see I can run the tool back and forth freely over every part of the Floyd Rose there. Much better. So I'm happy with that one. Let's check this one again. Happy. This lip on the left here is just paint. There's a little lip. That's better. Yeah, that's better. On the left side of this one, there's also a lip, but I feel like it's from paint, and I feel like it's meant to be there. It's not quite the fulcrum point. It's more towards the edge. And then going over the top one more time. Very smooth. I feel good about that. And this left one here. It's hard to get my hand out of the way. I'm pretty sure I'm happy with it. All right, now it feels completely smooth now. It feels completely smooth now. I don't feel a burr on either edge, so once again, I'm just going to do some final checks here and then get this thing back up. That's so much. Can you guys even see this? It's so much better. This one over here. Yeah. I did not think it was going to loosen because I cranked it tight. So now we can probably just get a better edge. I really want to only do this one time and not take off my strings for another 4 years. I just want this to be pretty darn close to perfect, eh? So checking that left edge, good. Checking the left edge to come around the corner. Yeah, it feels like there's something there that I just couldn't quite get with Floyd Rose. Now we can get just a bit of a more shallow angle. I could swear I could see the lip. What I'm going to do actually is grab a tiniest bit of sandpaper, some like 800 grit sandpaper, 2000 grit sandpaper or something, and then just get in those edges, I think, a little bit. I went and got the tiniest piece of 3000 grit sandpaper here. I'm just going to be rubbing it along the edge there on each side to really just smooth out any little discrepancies, because I am ultra paranoid. I just want it to be good, you know what I'm saying? Awesome. Very satisfied. All right, so now when I run my tool over all these edges, they feel so much better. Yeah, they feel so much better than they did. And the underside, check the underside now. That's very good. Now, call me over meticulous, but I've been doing this for a while. But I do want it to be good. Anyways, that feels so much better. When I run my fingers over and through, you know, especially running my skin through the knife edges, this is the bottom side. It doesn't feel, I don't feel any bad edges at all. Really trying to get my fingers in there. Really trying to purposely, you know, see if anything will catch me or nip at me. Nothing. It's all gravy, baby. It's all gravy. Okay, cool. All right, cool. We're going to go ahead and get the Floyd back in place. So we got a little duster here, and we're going to just go ahead and give our Floyd a dusting. We're going to do it all 1-2 with the duster. So let's go ahead and get the Floyd Rose back in place. One final check, just to be completely sure. Are we good? Feels much better. Feels really good overall. In another 4 years or something, I'll probably like this Floyd lasted 4 years. It's not that they're supposed to go bad or anything or whatever, but I just feel like after owning this guitar for 10 years or so, I will probably make upgrades to it, so I'm not too worried about if these specific knife edges don't last. Now, what I want to do, and I'm not sure if I should do it here now, is I wanted to put some super lube around the posts, and I think we'll just get that ready now. There is a little lid on here, because I mean it is super lube after all. I'm going to actually remove the Floyd. What we're going to do is actually just dab a little bit of this super lube onto, okay, there is a hole. There's a tiny hole. I thought you had to like make a hole yourself. No, there's a teeny little hole in the tip of the lid here. This thing is going to go back on, though. Should I just do it loosey-goosey? Have a loosey-goosey Floyd? There we go. How like everybody else. Wow. We'll tighten it for now. At least a little bit. All I'm going to do is tilt the guitar to its side like this. And drop just a little micro dab. There, it's on there. I put the tiniest bit on there. It hasn't even dripped around the screw. Yeah, it pretty much stayed where I put it. So now I will drip another around camera. I'm just going to drip another right on the other bolt there. Okay. So I know now that I got some on that side. I'm not really adding anymore. I'm just kind of pushing it around with the head. That's all we need there. That's great. Remember, that is super lube. Let's get that Floyd. I'm going to use this Q-tip because now that the super lube is working itself down the screw, I don't really want it to go all the way down there. I think that might be enough. I'm just going to make contact here and see how much gets transferred onto the knife edges if they were rocking right now. Yeah, a little bit. So we just want to make sure that the knife edges are the ones that have, you know, full coverage. Other stuff, it doesn't take a lot. I'm not even squeezing the bottle. I'm just letting it come out the bottle naturally, and then just kind of moving it around. Any excess I'll just get with the Q-tip. I'm gonna go ahead and just spread it around. That should be enough, just a light coating. Just to make sure the knife edges are well lubricated. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start getting the strings in. And so I did get the guitar back together. As you can see, it's playing absolutely wonderfully. And I found from the past week or so of playing it that after using the Floyd Rose, it is returning back to a neutral position. It is keeping itself in tune much better than it ever was before. So I'm happy with this process and I'm happy with the results, you know, of this fix. But honestly, the best preventative to not having to do this is to not damage your posts or your knife edges in the first place by adjusting the bridge when the entire guitar is under tension. So let's get on with the sound test so you guys can hear exactly what it plays like now. Okay, so for the sound test section, I'm just going to play some of the same chords, use the whammy bar, play those same chords again, and then just play around with some distortion to try and show you guys how the Floyd is operating now. Whammy abuse. All right, let's play it on some distortion now. So it plays fantastically. The guitar is playing fantastic now. It stays in tune just like the day I got it. So I would say this is a success. So hopefully that little sound test shows that the guitar does stay in tune now. And you'll just have to take my word for it that it was pretty bad before. But if this video did help you, please, as always, like, share, and subscribe. Leave some comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one.